Hello everybody, this is Valencia and welcome to my channel Balloons in Business, where I show you the business of balloon and event decor. So today I'm going to show you how I made this graduation themed mini balloon garland that I made out of recycled balloons. As you know, graduation season is upon us and I wanted to make some examples that I can take some pictures of and advertise to potential clients. So I decided to use some recycled balloons from some other jobs that I had instead of using my newer balloons. So I'm going to show you how I did this. So the balloons that I'm going to be using are from a job that I had a week earlier. It was from an outside gig. So the balloons were outside for a few hours. Then when I came back and picked up all of my stuff, I took the balloon garland with me. When I got home, I took the balloon garland apart into small clusters and I threw them in my mattress bag and kept them in my back room for a week. So as you can see from the balloons, they're still pretty inflated, and that speaks to the quality of the balloons that I use, which are mainly Tuftex, Sempertex, Qualitex, and Calisan. I also use Gmar as well. But as you see, when I'm pulling out these clusters, the balloons have totally oxidized, but I'm going to refresh that using some high shine and bring that shine right back. And I'm going to be using these silver balloons in 12-inch and 5-inch, as well as some white balloons in 17-inch, 12-inch, and 5-inch. So in addition to the silver and white balloons, I will be using some recycled balloons from another balloon garland I did. I actually have that video for you. It's when I did the cocoa melon themed balloon garland. I will put the link to that video in the description box if you want to see how I made that. But I'll be using blue balloons and yellow balloons, and they come in sizes 17, 12 inches, 5 inches, and I also used a 36-inch blue balloon and a couple 21-inch yellow balloons as well. So again, this is a graduation themed balloon garland. So I picked yellow, blue, and some white and silver as like, school colors. Okay, so when using the recycled balloons, I am untwisting the clusters. And then I'm going to be untying the dupes. And I'm basically sticking my finger into that loop part right there where the dupes are connected and just taking them apart like so. And I'm going to release the air and I'm going to blow some more air in there because, over the week, the balloons have lost some air. So I'm going to blow some more air in there to bring their firmness back. Then I'm going to be tying the balloons into dupes again. And then I'm going to be twisting my dupes into small clusters. So I'm just going to repeat the process, blowing air into the balloons to return them to their firmness and tying them together into dupes. And in this case, this is like a triplet, I guess. And then I'm going to be twisting them together into small clusters. So for the silver clusters, I'm going to remove all of the 5-inch balloons for now. So I'm just untwisting them from the cluster. And I'm going to blow some more air in those and add those in later. And I'm just doing the same thing that I did with the white balloons. Untying them, blowing some more air in them, tying them back together, and then twisting them into small clusters. And each of the clusters have about 2 to 3 dupes in them. So here are all of my small clusters with about 2 to 3 dupes for each cluster. So when connecting the base of my balloon garland, I like to tie the necks of the balloons together. So I take a neck in one cluster and a neck in another cluster and I just tie them together. And this is how I make the base of my balloon garland. So I kind of skipped the part where I hook the balloon garland onto the wall. I am going to show you how I did that in more detail later on in the video. But right now I'm adding some smaller clusters to the base of the balloon garland, and I'm basically adding them the same way that I connected the balloon garland. I'm just tying them by their necks into the cluster. So I'm taking the neck of one balloon in the cluster and the neck of a balloon in the balloon garland, and then I'm tying them together, and that is how I'm doing it. And then I'm just rearranging the balloons to get the shape that I want. Now, when I originally hung this balloon garland onto the wall, okay, I used some fishing line, and I didn't like the way it was hanging. I felt like the balloon garland was hanging way too far away from the hook. The fishing line was giving way too much slack. So later on, I'm going to show you how I rehung this balloon garland, and I even changed the positioning of it as well using a 260 balloon. So as you saw, I put all my 5-inch clusters on there using some 260 balloons, and I added that big 36-inch balloon right there. So now I'm going to go ahead on and take the I'm using a command hook. So I took that command hook off the wall and I put on a new strip. So I'm showing you how I put the strip onto my command hook. And these are 3-pound command hooks. You can get these at Walmart, Target, virtually anywhere. And I'm going to take that 260 and I'm going to tie it around the hook part 2 times. Then I'm going to take some duct tape and I'm going to put that duct tape over the knot where the command hook is, because I don't want that 260 riding up and coming off of the hook. Then I'm going to find a clean spot on the wall and I'm going to press that hook onto the wall where the tape is, and I'm going to hold on to it for about 30 seconds so that it will stick. And now you see me taking that other end of the 260 and I'm going to wrap it around the balloon garland and tie it in there. And that's going to make the balloon garland stick closer to the wall. It's not going to be hanging so far away from the wall. It's going to be nice and tight against the wall. And as you see, I changed the positioning of the balloon garland. So it's now kind of in a slanted motion. And now I'm going to be blowing up some like starburst type of balloons. And these balloons come in pieces. So you blow up how many of the pieces that you want. I'm blowing up 6 of them, but you can do 8, 10, however you want, however big you want your star to be. And they come with like little silver strips at the end, and you just tie them into each other. So I'm just tying those little points together with the silver strips. Now I want that center to be nice and thick, so I'm going to go ahead and twist at the center because I want the balloons to be nice and connected together. I don't want them to be loose. And then I'm going to use a 260 to connect it to the balloon garland. And now I'm connecting like a graduation cap balloon using some glue dots. So now I'm going to be using some high shine to freshen up the balloons and to restore their shininess. Now, one thing when you are spraying this, you want to make sure you put something on the ground, because high shine can ruin carpets and it can also make wood and tile floors very slippery. So you want to protect yourself and your clients by putting something on the floor. Now what I'm doing is I'm just generously spraying the Balloon Garland with the high shine, and I let it air dry for 15 to 20 minutes. I do not rub it in or use a towel or anything like that. I then come back after the 15 to 20 minutes to respray any parts that I missed and that are, still dull looking. And that's how I do it. Now I will put a link to this in the description box where I got it from. I got it from Amazon. So here is the finished product. As you can see, the high shine has fully dried and has restored the shininess to the balloons, so you don't even notice that the balloons are recycled. So if you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, go ahead on and like it, and please subscribe for notifications on future videos on balloon and event decor. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.